try it with a different?
I don't know that we have a different.
I have a different set of headphones.
It doesn't.
But
it doesn't have the right plug.
Mm.
We'll give it a shot on this. If not, we might have to switch.
We're back live?
We're live now.
Okay, we're back live. Just want to see anybody that's still in the room.
Good.
Check that sound. Sounds good.
I think it was when you slid the hat.
Okay, maybe. Whatever.
Okay.
All right. Well, we're gonna rally past this. We're gonna move right into the card set. Today, 1988 score set. A really different. Not a wax pack. It's this sort of, I guess, plastic cellophane pack that we're gonna be ripping open. Thanks to everybody with their feedback during the week on ways to stat us up for the show and to bring some more information to me. We always like the feedback. We always like the chat room messages. We like the text messages, the emails, the Facebook instant messages, whatever. Keep sending them. Shows that you're paying attention and shows that you like the cards. Producer Matt, tell us about the score 1988 set.
Okay, so Mike was saying the score is a little bit different. Obviously, the pack looks different. And they were kind of like a lower tier compared to Topps and Don Russ at the time. Mm-hmm. They didn't hang around for very long, did they?
10 years.
10 years?
10 years.
So this specific set is the first set made by Score. Mm-hmm. There's 660 cards in the set. Mm-hmm. The one thing you'll notice, multiple color borderings.
Yeah. I know that.
And then the glossy factory set is something that we're definitely looking for. There was one factory set made with a glossy print. There's only 5,000 made. So if you see a glossy one, that's going to increase the value. And the cards we're looking for today are a Tom Glavine rookie card for about $125.
Right.
There's a Don Mattingly card for about $30. Ooh. Roberto Alomar rookie card for $25. And then Craig Biggio is going for about $40. Mike Schmidt and the Mark Grace rookie card are about $20, $25 each.
One thing I noticed, the back of the pack, it almost looks like a Twinkie. Like, you know, that little blue bar, that little stripe boy.
I think that was like a quality seal.
It's well, then your Twinkies are quality seal too. Here we go. 1988 score.
Big money, no whammies.
Big
PM's in the building.
No whammies, no garbage cards. I know we're gonna get garbage cards, but
this whole set had
less
a ton of
garbage
great
cards. Woohoo! I like this already right off the bat. We have Hall of Famer just coming in real hot at the front. Mike Schmidt, Phillies Hall of Famer.
That's a $25 card.
An excellent. This is a $25 card. This might be one of Mike Schmidt's last cards. You tell me in the comments below if you know that or not. Fans of Mike Schmidt will know that he was probably the greatest third baseman in Phillies history. Might have been one of the greatest third basemen in National League history.
This might be one of the first cards that we send to get appraised because this is very, very good condition.
Well, it's mint condition. It just came out of a package.
But even the way the borders are cut and everything, that does affect the price of the card.
I would tell you again. Take a look at the borders on the close-up. This is why I kind of like this set, even though historically Score might not live at the top of the echelon with Topps or Fleer or Donruss. I like the way that the Score cards, this purple, we'll see the orange, we'll see the blue borders, and I like that. It makes it a little bit special. Short shrinkens the picture up a little bit, but I think all of them are action shots. And by God, we got action shots here. The second card out of the pack. This is
Kirby
stacking
Puckett.
Up to be a strong one. Kirby Puckett,
That's
Minnesota Twins Hall of Famer.
I believe
rest in
about
all sorts of
$10,
keys.
$15 right here.
Yeah. So the 2 for 2 on contenders for the leader of the pack right out of the beginning.
And this looks very well cut too.
Yeah. One thing, show the people at home the back of the card and that novel that they have on the back. Like, so much information. In my advanced ages, I can't read that, so it would take a young person's eyes. Maybe if you were 11 years old in 1988, you had the time to read the back of that card.
Todd says Score is the Kirkland and Jensen or Berkeley and Jensen of baseball cards.
Excellente. All right, third card up. It's still good. First baseman at this time for the San Diego Padres. He ended up being a well-traveled gentleman. John Kruk.
Ooh, Crucky.
John Kruk.
Baseball
The Kruk
Tonight.
star. Before he was a Baseball Tonight analyst, before he was a Philly, before he was like extra fat. Here's John Kruk, first baseman. Strong bat. Kind of a, I would say, personality over performance on John Kruk.
Pat's here. Pat Connolly in the house today.
He's the John Kruk of the chat session.
Also, I just
personality
found out
over
an interesting
performance.
thing that we could do on Facebook Live, so we'll talk about that after the show.
Okay, all right. So we had 3 relatively good cards coming out of the top. That John Kruk, we might have to look that up, see if that's a John Kruk rookie. And I don't know how the value on rookies at the score level was, but we're immediately torpedoing down to the mediocrity.
87 was his first stint in the majors, but it was
Okay,
only for
that might have been
something at bats.
Might have been his first card. So we're torpedoing down. Middle of the world guy, Larry Sheets. Played for Baltimore. I guess this was early in his career too, but he didn't really see the pinnacles of a Mike Schmidt. He's not a Hall of Famer like Kirby Puckett or Mike Schmidt. He's not a Baseball Tonight analyst. Larry Sheets is, outfielder.
He's a guy.
He's a guy. Might have played for, after Baltimore, might have gone to Seattle. Feels like a real Seattle Mariners early 90s guy. Share a locker room with Griffey. Maybe your stock goes up a little bit. I don't know if he's that great. Right now he's 4th in the list. We're torpedoing back up. I wish I was opening this card on the 4th of July, or the 1st of July, because today is Bobby Bonilla Day. Bobby Bonilla will be getting paid on July 1st. He's the patron saint of the deferred contract. Again, he was a perennial all-star. I'm not going to take anything away from Bobby Bonilla. Had a very contemptuous relationship with the press. Kind of an a-hole, as some people might call him. But this was early in his career. This is before he got a chip on his shoulder and a spare tire around his belly. He was a Met. He was an Oriole.
Have you noticed the trend?
He was a Met again.
The cards 3 to each color coming in.
Could be. It could be.
I promise you, it is.
I think you sneaked a peek at the top of this. So we've got California Angels outfielder Jack Howell. Jack Thurston Howell III, as Chris Berman would call him, in his Chris Berman Sports Center nickname. Again, just a guy that came off your bench, or a guy that probably filled in as a 4th outfielder every once in a while. No need going to look up his career stats. They're not gonna, it's not gonna light the world on fire. He is merely a guy. He's a spoke on the wheel, as they say. So we reached the midway point of this card set, and it's getting crazy, because here's one of these tiny little, and I always thought these were stupid. Like, you're filling a card pack with this one tiny little card, this little like hieroglyphic hologram. That's what the word. That's
Hieroglyphic.
The parent company that made scorecards actually also made this the card set Sports Flick. If anybody remembers Sports Flicks and the disappointment in all the holographic images that were on there, I guess this was their throw-ins to this set. This one's asking me, do I remember Ebbets Field, October 3rd, 1947? Great moments in baseball. Then I have to tilt it 100 ways. Or then read the super small lettering on the back.
Would you care to explain the hat situation? Because people have been asking.
Why I don't have my hat on?
Yeah.
Oh, the hat's too big for my tiny head. And Richie graciously bought me this hat when he went to AEW. Matt and I both have hats, but Matt has a bigger head. I was just helping to represent our friend Joey today. No big deal. I'm not wearing a hat. Fine, whatever. Roast me in the comments. Go ahead. I'm going to move forward. I'm going to move away from all this roasting. Pittsburgh Pirates first baseman and, a pretty important guy for the Pirates at this time. Sid Bream. Good mustache. Good. I'm just saying.
Oh, that is a
good,
really good
mustache. Pretty solid first baseman. Good glove. Was part of the Pirates' resurgence with the Bobby Bonillas and the Barry Bonds and the Doug Drabeks as they kind of took over the NL East at the end of the 80s into the early 90s. Played in a couple of playoff series. Went to the Atlanta Braves after that. There's your history lesson for the day. Here's not a lot of history coming out of this guy, but I do remember his name. Another California Angel. This is two Angels. We've got Gary Pettis, fast as lightning. Also kind of built like a grasshopper.
Two Angels, two Pirates right now.
Mm-hmm.
If you keep it count at home, folks.
Yeah, it's a real Noah's Ark. But Gary Pettis, real thin dude. Would probably match up with like a D. Gordon today. Would be like a Gary Pettis, like that sort of body frame, wiry.
Kenny Lofton body frame.
Kenny Lofton body frame, a Alan Wiggins body frame, a Willie McGee body frame, but not as ugly as Willie McGee. I can't wait to get to Willie McGee, by the way, in one of these sets because he's the ugliest man in the history of baseball.
Ooh.
That's an undisputed fact.
They kicked my my trend here.
Oh, they did, yeah. No, scores, they're not paying attention to this. Montreal Expos pitcher, relief pitcher, and they tell me on the back it's a relief pitcher. Thank you, score. Randy Sinclair. That's a pretty porno name. Excuse me if there's any kids watching, but that's a kind of adult film name.
A New York
Randy Sinclair. From New York. What part of New York? New York City?
Great Falls.
Great Falls. All right, so up in northern New York, upstate, as we say, Glens Falls. Oh, you know who else is from Glens Falls, New York? Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
Ho!
Hacksaw Jim Duggan's father was he was the chief of police of Glens Falls, New York, at one time.
Jesus Christ!
Here comes the comments on that one. Glens Falls. Everybody loves Glens Falls, New York. Moving on, we've got a relief pitcher, I believe, or just a pitcher for the Boston Red Sox, Rob Woodward. On a staff that's got Oil Can Boyd and Roger Clemens and probably Bob Nepper.
He didn't get much pitching
Rob
time with the Red
Woodward,
Sox, that's what it
not
says.
yeah. Well, it's telling you that in that long paragraph on the back there. That's telling you all you need to know about Bob Woodward. Rob Woodward.
PM, I'm curious to know who was a coke addict.
Jim Duggan.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
sure he's throwing Jim Duggan under the bus.
Okay.
Rob Woodward might have been too. I don't know. Gary Pettis might have been. Woo. We have to look up
word
the
on
arrest.
the street is that they called him Gary Penis.
Okay, all right.
That's
so this is the word on the streets getting dirty. Now we're getting to another player that I liked a lot. That was a bench guy, but solid bench guy, first baseman, outfielder, Danny Heap. Danny Heap, one of my favorite Mets of all time.
I feel like we talked about this, gentleman.
Oh, well, I could talk about Danny Heap all day, sir. Big swing. He was normally a pinch hitter. I think after the 87, he was with the Mets until 87, got sent to the Dodgers here. In between there might have been with the Red Sox, or he went to the Red Sox after this in the next season. Started with the Houston Astros. I like Danny Heap a lot. I always appreciate like that sort of gritty guy that like gives you something when he comes off the bench. He's not going to strike out all that often. He's going to give you a quality at bat. And when he gets himself into a lineup, watch out. Danny Heap's going to go 2 for 3. Maybe he might walk. Moving on, we've got Chris Spire, who San Francisco Giants infielder. I remember him being short. He might have been like 5'7".
Well, we all know how this is going to go.
All right? Then give me his real height. He's probably 7'7", right? He's not 5'7". He looks short.
He's 6'1".
He's 6'1". All right, that's.
It's not as bad as you've been with recent ones.
Yeah, average height for a middle infielder. Maybe even a little tall for a middle. I just felt like he was small.
Danny Heap was
comparison.
Nolan Ryan's 5,000th strikeout.
Great. Great. It was probably his 3,023rd strikeout.
If
I'm
you
not
had to
counting
guess
them all.
if you had to guess who gave that stat,
Oh, that's a PM stat.
yeah.
Yeah. No doubt about it. All right. Getting close to the end here. Another yellow card and another Houston Astro. We've got backup catcher, probably the backup catcher to Alan Ashby. This is Robbie Wine Jr. I have nothing to say about Robbie Wine Jr. Until this point, I did not know that he existed. I wonder what Robbie Wine Sr. had to say, or what his career trajectory was. We got to move on quickly on that one. Again, just looking at the card here, Luis Aguayo looks like a short man. He was
like
an
a sloppy
infielder,
boy, like a Pablo Sandoval.
Well, I don't not fat like that, but yeah, one of these chunky second basemen for the Phillies, teammate of Schmidt, teammate of Steve Jeltz, teammate of Juan Samuel.
5'9".
5'9". All right, so I finally get somebody's height almost correct. There's a lot of cards in this pack. I'm just realizing that now.
His dad was Robbie Vino Sr.
Okay.
I don't know why.
I would put my hat off and take it off to that one. That's a good line. Cleveland Indians catcher Andy Allenson.
Talk about a highest of highs to lowest of lows.
Yeah, our first three cards, the first 4 out of 5 were great. Really set the tone.
Then we get to Alan Allenson.
We're sucked into a vacuum at this point.
Great mustache.
It's a decent mustache. Is he a good player? I remember his name. I don't think I punched him out on an all-star ballot. Let's put it that way. I didn't pluck him down.
Mike,
but,
just take a look at some of the minor league teams he played for.
He played for Buffalo, Waterloo, Waterbury. So a lot of
Batavia.
Where is this?
Batavia. I've never heard of that place before.
Oh, Batavia. Or maybe it's in Russia.
That's
maybe he played in the Russian league. I don't know, but hey, he made it to the Indians for a cup of coffee. Dressed in the same locker room as Corey Snyder and Joe Carter.
He was named to an all-rookie team in the AA.
He was also on the same team as relief pitcher Doug Jones. There's a lot of common teams in this pack. This is a great mustache. Doug Jones was a solid relief pitcher. Probably the second tier down from so you would have a Dennis Eckersley is your elite closers at that time, and Dennis Eckersley is the gold standard for closers. Then the next level down, you'd have a Quisenberry.
There we go.
Okay. So as I was saying, Eckersley, Quisenberry, and maybe the second or third tier was Doug Jones. He would blow a few saves, but it was still a good guy to have in the back of your bullpen. And then the last guy in the pack here, Yankee fans will remember, Roy Smalley. At this time, he was a Minnesota Twin. He was a Minnesota Twin twice in his career. But sandwiched in between that was a stint with the Yankees. Might have been the best second baseman in Yankee history. You can quote me on that. Second baseman. He's better than Steve Sachs as a second baseman.
Better than Robbie?
Better than Robbie Cano? The jury's out. The jury's out on that. But Roy Smalley was a quality guy. A decent glove. Could get a quality hit every once in a while. I think you've made the selection before I have. And the first card out of the pack, Mike Schmidt is the leader of the pack tonight. Much deserved. Much ballyhooed. I mean, he run neck and neck with a young Kirby Puckett for a good one.
John Kruk is a good pull, too.
It's a good pull. It's a potential rookie, but we have to go with Mike Schmidt because this might be the last Mike Schmidt baseball card that there was made.
It's a $25 card. If it's,
we've got a high number. We've got a high number. Is that $25 in 2020 dollars or is that $25 in 1988? Okay, interesting. Well, because this set was probably mass produced, I probably couldn't sell it for all that much. Hint, if anybody wants to bid on it, or if anybody wants to send this to various Twitter accounts, If you want to post the video, if you want to share this video with anybody on Twitter that might be running these baseball card auctions that I was prepped to by Todd Cohen. Thanks, Todd, for pointing out the Phil Hughes Twitter account with all those crazy baseball card auctions that go on for days. That's exciting stuff. I like that other people are doing what I'm doing. I also like the article. Thank you, Big Dan, for sending me the article about the boom in the streaming videos for baseball card opening and how they're saving the baseball card industry. I am a savior to the baseball card industry. Matt and I are revitalizing the baseball card industry through the 80s. But
everybody wants you to guess the height of
Roy Smalley. Roy Smalley is I'm gonna go with 6'2".
6'1".
6'1". I can't ever get it right, but I'm very close. For a guy whose last name is Smalley, he's not very Smalley.
George was chiming in on that. So
thank you, George. All right, well, I think that's a show. We got a good one for Thursday. I can't show you guys because it's a CeeLo pack, so you'll know what year it's from if I show you. And it might be a spoiler for what the card is on top, but promise me you'll be back here on Thursday at 7:15. Thursday's tomorrow, right? It is. Okay. So Thursday's tomorrow. So that's a show.
Normal scheduled week,
right? We're on schedule. So for producer Matt, for myself, for Chewbacca, happy May the 4th be with you a couple days ago. For Chewbacca and Backpack C-3PO, and also for our spiritual master and overlord, the great Muta. Have a pleasant evening, and bye. Muta.